Hello everyone, hopefully you can hear me. We are in X-Plane 11 and this is pre-Vulkan. We're back in the public release of 11.4.1. And that is because, for me personally, in VR, in the Reverb, which we've decided to use because of the vote that I had, thanks for people who have voted for that, you know, the Reverb won that hands down, like by 95%. That was quite incredible. But yeah, we're in the Reverb in 11.4.1 simply because it works really, really well, as I'm demonstrating here. So, after all, Vulkan is a beta, so things do go wrong, and it's great to be able to be part of that process. But I do recommend that everyone who enjoys X-Plane to have a main install. This is my main install of X-Plane. I haven't touched it at all, and it's running beautifully, and it's just so nice to go back to it every now and then to enjoy it. Right, I need to get the chat up and running, so I've got a new plugin. Thank you to a subscriber who, I can't remember his name, but because I'm useless, but I really appreciate it. He mentioned a plugin called Move VR, which is this little thing here, desktop. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, this means I'll be able to chat to everybody, if there's anyone there, of course. Wow, listen to the sounds. This is Edinburgh, by the way. We're in Orbex, Edinburgh again. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, this will work okay. Actually, that's rubbish. I need to change the quality. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm just going to get this set up. Hopefully, if anything's too loud, please let me know. Sounds amazing in the headset. Best quality. We want best quality. This is a cool little program, this. And there we all are. We can hear you. Brilliant. Thank you, Melissa. She's the admin for the page. Diamond Geezer, hi all. Hope you're well. Good to see you, Diamond. How are you? Hope you're okay on this bank holiday Easter Monday. The weather's changed in the UK today. It's freezing. And I've actually got a bit of a... I'm using Active Sky, but I've got a bit of a custom weather for Oban to give us some rain effects, because one thing I have missed using Vulkan, and that is those lovely lib rain effects on the canopy. So we're going to see a bit of that. But today we are, as I say, at Orbex, Edinburgh. And oh, the detail's amazing. I mean, look at that. If I just zoom in there, out the cockpit, there's people waiting there. Look at that. It's just brilliant. And we've got Traffic Global running. So as you can see here, it's busy. I'd imagine it's not so busy in real life right now. In fact, it's probably more realistic to run Vulkan, considering that everything's grounded as we're in a lockdown situation at the moment. But as I'm panning around this airport, I'm getting about 40 frames per second. Well, I was before I was live streaming, I was getting 40 frames per second in the Reverb. Now, I don't get that with Vulkan. I have no idea why. I think I'm in the minority when it is, you know, when I say that I don't get any decent performance increase so far with Beta 3. In fact, Beta 3 has been the worst for me. Anyway, let's close the door and we'll get going. First of all, we need to have a look. We're in the Hot Start TBM, by the way. Favourite aircraft of all time. Everything works in VR, as you can see here. Just top those tanks up a little bit, but 95 each side, that'll be enough. And we can even check our maintenance, which we might as well do that actually while we're here. All within VR itself. Look at that, it's just really good. My total expenses so far in this aircraft is $925,000. So not too shabby, and I've actually replaced one engine. So I'm just looking here to see if everything that needs replacing. Prop governor, I don't know why that's broken. Good job I checked that, isn't it? Right, we're now up to $983,000. Sometimes this aircraft can break if you don't, even if you don't do anything wrong, just simply by, say, resetting a flight, it gets confused. And I think that's what's just happened there, actually. So we're just going to do our little checks here. Electrics all look okay. We could do a battery test, but that should be fine. My goodness, listen to all the sounds. Hey Eric, since 4 days I'm flying with the Cairngorms Cessna Citation. That is a very nice aircraft, a very good plane. Yep, it's smoother in Vulkan. I have half of your FPS with my Reverb. I'd recommend, Eric, right now I'm not actually using Vulkan, believe it or not. I'm in 11.4.1, the public release, as I find right now it's as expected, really. It's much better. Right, all that's looking good, so make sure that we are all shut. Yep, everything's shut there. Good stuff. Making sure everything's all in order. Oh, I've just got a bit of a blackout there. That was weird. That was weird. Did you guys just see that then? I got a bit of a blackout then. Okay. Right. Battery is going on. Parking brake is set. Manx. Might have said that wrong. Enjoy. Steve, thank you very much. Good to have you aboard. Toyota 1994, what do you think of the new Reverb? Well, it's very intriguing. I've got to say, it could be a very nice upgrade from this particular Reverb version. It will have better controllers, it'll have better audio. Wow, that's loud.
Warning, okay.
That's very loud. So even with the fact it's got better controllers and a better audio solution, might be worth the upgrade, even if the lens is still the same, because the lenses in this headset are superb anyway, as you know. Alright, I just need to make sure everything's kind of off here first before we start.
System test. Okay.
I might actually just turn down a few things here because everything's a bit loud. Maybe some of this stuff can go down, because I am shouting a little bit. Resume. Right then, let's go for an engine start. Ignition's on, auxiliary fuel pump on, and starter. Now let's hope we get a good start. Stevo1 Canevo, which is, he's like the best ever YouTube real world pilot ever. He's just superb. He flies TBMs for a living, and he did a flight in this recently. I'd highly recommend checking his channel out. Right, okay, we're going to go to low idle. It's very loud. I think there's an Airbus just going off there. Looking for the NG to rise and the ITT to stabilise, which it is. Waiting for that to go into the green, and then we can go to high idle. That's a really nice start. That's what we want. Generator on, ignitions to auto, auxiliaries to auto, fuel selector switch to auto, and AP trims on. Our taxi light on, nav light on. Our inertial separator is already on. Pitot heat shouldn't really be on now, but we'll leave them on. Wow, what was that? Oh, an aircraft just landed. Just look at all of this out here, guys. This is Traffic Global. If I can just try and get a good view out here. Look at all of this. It's absolutely amazing. It's just traffic everywhere. I say Traffic Global doesn't work in Vulkan, and neither does Ultimate Weather XP. Two of my most favourite add-ons. So this is why I'm back in the normal 11.4.1 version, and I was going to do this flight anyway today, so I thought I'd take you guys along with me. Diamond Geezy, can't get your reverb controllers to work in X-Plane. Is that what version are you running? Because Vulkan is a bit dodgy right now. Aaron Bailey, will you recommend standard global with HT Mesh V4? I don't know what that is, mate. Sorry. If it's loud, click on the headset in the co-pilot seat. Yes, you saw Steve-O do it. Yes, absolutely. I'll be doing that. I'll do it now, but that won't fortunately affect the sounds of the nearby Traffic Global, which it will get quieter in a second. Eric, every time I need to quit VR mode, go back in VR and my controllers appear. Or sometimes I must restart the simulator, but in the game it's fine when it's playing. Understand I have my controllers, yeah. Is that with Vulkan? Honestly, Vulkan for non-VR users right now is an absolute dream. But I'm not interested in that. I'm a VR user and I fly 95%, shall I say, of the time in VR. I thought about doing a live stream in non-VR mode. If anyone's interested in what kind of performance I'm getting from my system, I might do one of those live streams at some point. But for the time being, I mean, well, not for the time being, forever, I just use VR, that's my thing. I just can't not fly in VR. You can't go back, guys. It's impossible. Well, I don't know why the flaps are set down like that. We haven't left this aircraft in a particularly good state from our last flight. Never mind. Right, I've got a little flight plan in here just to kind of see us on our way. But we are going to be touring in Scotland. If I can remember the right one here, because there's so many on here. Hang on a second. Don't even know it's on there. EGPH. I can hear an aircraft taking off. Tell you what, we'll leave it. What we'll do is we'll just put in a few waypoints on our own. Echo Golf. That again. Echo. Okay, sometimes this keypad does not work. Very frustrating. And in the latest TBM update, the controller manipulation is a bit laggy. All these updates, guys, sometimes they're far from updates, they're downgrades. But for me, Vulkan right now, it's not working that great, to be honest, as I'm sure you've seen in my other live stream. And I've resorted to using the Rift S for quite a bit, but that'll do for now. That's just giving us a bit of an idea where we're going. Right, it's all gone a bit quiet now. We've got a break. But check out the performance, guys, here. No stutters or anything. I mean, we probably will get some stutters. We are in OpenGL mode in 11.4.1. So we're probably going to get a few stutters. We're at Orbex, Edinburgh, full detail. So, yeah, hang on. Actually, we need to get our pressure.
Echo Golf Papa Hotel Airport Information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind.
This little plugin's brilliant.
At 14
Nice
visibility 10,000
Like
sky
it.
condition 1,800 scattered temperature 13
Okay.
dew point 8 altimeter 3012 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot.
We have Foxtrot, and we've got our pressure setting all in there. So
Echo.
parking brake can go off. We're going to do a cheat. We could do pushback, but we're just going to be naughty and use our beta. In fact, probably won't be able to do that because I think my chocks is still on. Hang on a second. But yeah, this is going to be a very scenic flight, hopefully, guys. There's quite a bit of cloud today, but I've left the cloud in on purpose just to show you that even with... Oh, hang on. Even with really, really high everything, maximum detail, you can still get a very good performance in 11.4.1 with the reverb. I can't currently run the reverb very well at all in Vulkan. and I was missing it too much, to be honest. So I just had to, and all of this stuff, yeah, all of these aircraft and everything, lib rain effects, which hopefully we'll see a bit of that later on. All of that goodness. I still have the Vulkan beta, but I use a different installation for that, which I highly recommend people do. Do you know what? I basically swap between saying beta and beta. I never know which one to say. I just kind of say them both. So apologies if I say it differently every time. That's nice, that is. Let's have a quick look outside as we attempt to taxi on the centre line here. Going a bit quick, actually. I love this airport, really, really nice. I think it's still on sale, guys, actually. I think it's still about £9. Peanuts, really. But yeah, remember guys, this is 11.4.1, the public release of X-Plane. We are not running Vulkan today, and we are live streaming, and we're getting about 40 frames per second at the moment. With the reverb, no stutters at the moment. That's pretty damn good. And since I can have all my add-ons working as well, this is my preferred way of flying. I don't really want to use a beta release for my main flight, if that makes sense. Right, we'll just get to the active runway here. We'll just hold short and do our final checks, and we'll get going. Might even see if we can find the Loch Ness monster today, guys. If you're feeling brave, we might see if we can get a sighting to earn our millions. If we get a photograph of it. Yep, there is definitely more problems with the reverb in Vulkan. You know what? I think part of that is this VRAM business. Obviously, with those resolution panels, the 4K the 4K resolution, that will have a bearing on your VRAM. And to be honest, the ortho texture is just a blurry mess to me with Vulkan. If I use the Rift S, it's much better. In fact, it's a nice experience in the Rift S. But to be honest, I really love the reverb. This is my main flight sim headset because I just love the panels in it. So, I mean, it's just a simple solution really. Just resort back to the public release, which works fine. And to be honest, I think I'm always going to have 11.4.1 running. There's an aircraft coming in, so we'll just have a look. I'll always have a version of 11.4.1 until I am totally sure that 11.50 is a improvement, and I can't see that being the case for quite a while yet. Diamond Geezer, yes, the Rift S works fine in Vulkan. It works really well in Vulkan. It's a pleasure, and that's, you know, I think my last video, that was kind of my conclusion with it so far. Alright, let's go outside and have a look at this landing. Oh, I hate those click spots, they're annoying. No, I don't want to go that way. There we go. The Dash 8 coming in, is that a Flyby? Oh, it makes me feel sad. It's good to see them buzzing around in my simulator anyway. Nice landing! I wonder if that was my friend Mark. He flies them, or used to fly them for a living. Right, bit of a coffee sip and we'll get going. How have we been online 20 minutes already? I hadn't even taken off yet. Too busy yapping away, I think. Right, I think we're okay, we're clear. Haven't set my altitude bug actually, but that's fine. We'll initially climb out to 2,000 feet. Flaps down, I haven't set my trim. I have now. Okay, landing light coming on. We'll just do a bit of a rolling takeoff here at Orbex Edinburgh, which is a very highly intensive, highly detailed rendition, an Orbex rendition airport, and it's running very nicely. First time I've actually flown from this in 1141. Hope that Dash 8 moves out the way in a minute. Move out the way! We've committed to it now. Let's go outside for some beautiful views here. Wow. Not bad at all. Very nice. And you'll notice the ortho will be pin sharp because we don't have any of those issues, and I've already busted my initial climb altitude, but that doesn't matter. We're going to be hands-on most of this flight anyway. So there we are, guys, we are airborne. Flybe live in our virtual world, exactly. I kind of like how I can still see the Flybe aircraft buzzing around my skies, because it brings me into a kind of escapism, you know, because it all started with all that business, didn't it? And then it's been a bit of a depressing year so far, and with them going under and the coronavirus and all that, it's kind of nice to be in a world where none of that exists right now and everything is alive and kicking. So let's go over the famous bridges here before we start heading up this estuary in search of the Loch Ness monster. And we might even go right over the Cairngorms as well, which is a beautiful region. Tell you what, we'll just stick the autopilot on here just so I'm not moving all over the place here. That's it, that'll do for now, and we'll go outside. Bit hazy today. But quite a view, I would say. Quite an amazing looking bridge actually. Old and new together. As far as I'm aware, the old bridge is now only used for public transport and pedestrians. Beautifully modelled, very nice indeed. Like it a lot. Right, so we can put our inertia separator off now and increase the torque a little bit. Also look out for when it does rise. I didn't realise actually that you're not supposed to switch on the inertial separator until you're under 200 knots, and I'm not so sure the Hot Start TBM models that, which is a first, quite honestly. Because I think it models absolutely everything else, but I'm not quite sure if you... don't think you can damage this aircraft if, say, you put the inertial separator on at, say, 250 knots, because I've done it before to slow down and it hasn't done anything bad. So yeah, welcome aboard everybody, it's a pleasure to have you all. This is a great little plugin. Thank you so much to the subscriber who let me know about this. And by the way guys, just to let you know, I've just been messing around in DCS this morning. There's a free trial going on at the moment of the F86 Sabre, and it's a classic jet, and I've got to say, apart from the F18, it's close. I really have gelled with that aircraft. It's beautiful. Got very fond memories of seeing that as a kid at air shows. And yeah, very nice indeed. I think DCS aircraft, they're just made to perfection. They're just a labour of love. Oh, we've got a little stutter there. I mean, I am expecting more stutters because, as I say, we're not using Vulkan. So it'd be a good test to see what it's like now that pretty much everyone's using it. But for me, I love my add-ons really, and that's why it's good to have two different versions. See there, the mountains coming into view. That is Inverness, I think. Echo Golf Papa November. I might be wrong, but I think it is. They say we're not heading straight. We're going to be going to Oban, but not straight away. We want to be exploring some of these Scottish hills. Because my plan was I was going to go to Scotland for no, actually, sorry, that's Perth, I think. Inverness is Echo Golf Papa Echo. Apologies, but we're going to be heading sort of like round this way. But yeah, I was intending to ride my bike over to Scotland for a week, but that's obviously not possible at the moment due to the lockdown situation in the UK. So the next best thing is to fly there in VR. Now the only other thing that I'm a little concerned about is that the TBM doesn't like traffic, generally speaking, and it can crash. So I'm hoping that won't happen. I haven't really had any of those issues, but you know, I'm live streaming now, so it's bound to happen, but we'll see. But I thought, I love this aircraft so much. This is the main GA aircraft I fly these days, to be honest. I find anything else doesn't really hit that same bar. I think the Marchetti is close, and that's about it really, to be honest. Diamond Geezer, does anyone know of a good ATC plugin? I think there's a, oh, what's it called? 123 ATC? I don't think it's called that. That might be an old version of it. But there is a separate ATC freeware plugin you can use, but it's you know, it's not amazing, to be honest. I don't think it works in VR as such. I don't think you've got like a window you can use in VR. But that is a massive feature missing from X-Plane, is the implementation of air traffic control. It's very basic, and it's a shame Traffic Global doesn't have that capacity, but it's just a limitation of the sim itself. But that's one thing I really miss from the FSX and Prepared days, is you know, decent air traffic control really. So the skies are quite blue, which is good at the moment, although things will change as we get to Oban. There'll be a bit more rain, which I'm looking forward to in a weird way, because I'll get to see all those rain effects, which are currently not working in Vulkan. But that ortho is looking very nice down there. I've got everything, objects, all at maximum detail. I'm looking forward to beta 4 Vulkan, to hopefully that will improve things a bit, but right now it's pretty broken for me. Alright, we'll start just climbing up a little bit in preparation for these mountains. Got to 4,000 feet, and we'll just VS it very slowly by about, say, 800 feet per minute. That'll do me nicely. Everything's in order, temperatures and pressures are all good. Could probably get a bit more speed out of this, but I'm in no rush today, to be honest. Just enjoying the wonderful views, which will get stunning very soon. It is quite hazy though today. This is live weather today, by the way. And if it does get a bit too cloudy, I might just get rid of it altogether. But the joys of simming, you can kind of control the world. Russ Smith, X-Plane on the iPhone has ATC. Does it really? Well, that says it all, doesn't it, really? You know. dear. My controller's batteries are getting low apparently. I'm not surprised. The Windows Mixed Reality controllers at the moment, my right controller has got an issue where the battery, I've just charged these up, and how long's that lasted? Half an hour before it's starting to get a warning message. I think it's not the batteries themselves or even that they are actually going low. It's because I need to clean the contacts on the battery casing, but I'm not doing that. You know, I've I've paid good money for the Reverb. I'll be sending these back, but I'm just a bit reluctant to do that because if I do that, I won't be able to use the Reverb in X-Plane for a while. So I don't know. We shall see on that one. Aaron, let's pray for a Microsoft Flight Simulator public beta in the coming months. I know. Do you know what? It would be nice, you know. I don't know. It would be quite cool if they did maybe some sort of like open. Sorry, no. What was I trying to say? Early access. That would be really good if you paid whatever X amount of pounds and had early access to it. That would be cool. Especially under these times as well, and I think they would learn a lot from people as well, because the way they're doing their alpha invites, you know, it's just to anybody, does concern me a bit whether they're getting feedback from the wrong type of people. I always think that as part of the alpha invitation you should have had to sort of, I don't know, have like a bit of a paragraph of why you should be picked. Now I don't know how that process, I'm sure that it's too time consuming for them to pick out people individually. I'm sure it's some sort of algorithm that automatically chooses people, but I don't know, I think a lot of people in the alpha that shouldn't be, to be honest. And just so you know, I'm not in the alpha, in case you're wondering. I haven't been picked. I have signed up from day one, but no, I haven't been picked. My friend has, lucky sod, if he's watching, but no, I haven't. Oh, this is lovely. This is such a nice flight. Really enjoying this already. So relaxing. Really good frames. Everything's smooth. This is pre-Vulkan, with all of my add-ons working fine. I'm tempting fate saying this really, aren't I? But everything is seemingly running very nicely indeed. Right, sip of coffee. Hey Michael, no problems mate, you haven't really missed much to be honest. Just been gawping at all of the traffic global AI traffic at Edinburgh Airport. Just to let you know Michael that we are running stock X-Plane, sorry not stock X-Plane, the public release version of X-Plane at 11.41, not the Vulkan release, because I am fed up with it. It crashes, it's really bad for VR. There's two distinct crashes I keep getting. Basically, the three problems I have with Vulkan right now, and I know it's a beta, so, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. It's blurry ortho textures, the fact that VR just crashes all the time, mainly if, say, you want to disable it and enable it again. And in the Reverb, the controller doesn't even appear half the time, doesn't even work. So they're three big, huge problems that I'm finding, and for frame rate wise, I'm not finding any difference in performance. It's pretty much the same, but the only thing I am finding is it's definitely smoother overall. No doubt about that. It's definitely a smoother experience when you're flying from ortho regions and large Orbex airports. It's very, very smooth indeed. So all is not lost with Vulkan, but right now Beta 3 is a bit of a mess for me, so that's why we're back in the public release. Yep, thank you Michael. Aaron, I saw a leak a month ago testing the Takeoff. Oh yes, I know what you mean. In fact, that's kind of what I had in mind. So you were thinking the same as me there, because when I was thinking about some of the people that are in the alpha, that video, which I hope's offline now and not on YouTube anymore, that was what I was referring to be honest. People are just messing about with it and not taking it seriously. This is a huge moment for the flight sim communities who have such an incredible flight sim come in. It looks eye-watering, just bite the back of your hand, achingly beautiful. Trying to find a way to describe it, there just isn't words to describe how impressive the sim looks. And I just hope that whatever they're doing, they're getting good feedback, and they're using a bit of they're being careful with what things they're implementing. It already looks at a very good state right now. I just kind of wish that they had an option to have early access. That is the thing these days. It's quite common for game developers to provide early access, and I just really wish they would do that with this sim. But that's because I'm impatient and I want to fly in it. But it hasn't got VR at the end of the day, so I'll always have X-Plane on my hard drive until that very moment they implement VR, and I'm sure it'll be done very well when that time comes. So we're over the Cairngorms now, guys. Now, I remember I did the North Coast 500 on my bike a few years ago. In fact, that video is on YouTube, and oh god, it was an incredible experience going all the way around Scotland. But I have very fond memories of the bit where we went through the Cairngorms, and that was one of the main highlights for me during that trip, because it's something about the way the roads are, lovely twisting roads that go right through the mountains, and just the shape of them in this particular part of Scotland. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning. Got to be careful here because some of these are rising quite sharply here. It's a bit hazy, isn't it? I might change the weather in a minute because it is a bit too hazy, but as I say, very realistic. I did say we'd be hands-on, didn't I? And I'm just using the autopilot. We'll just go a little bit right at this mountain here, and we'll just have a quick look outside. Very nice indeed. Now let me know, guys, if you're happy with the way the weather is, or if you want to see a bit more visibility, because it is quite hazy today. So if you want me to change the weather, let me know. It's not too bad. It's about what you'd expect from Scotland on a nice day, really. But right, we'll start heading this way. It's weird, I've had that warning message, yet the controller's still working fine, and the haptic feedback is still working. So I don't know what's going on with it. It's really weird. Sip of coffee. I'll have a quick look at the chat again. Diamond Geezer, it makes you wonder if that's who Microsoft wants to target. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, no, I don't think so. I think they're pretty damn serious about this sim, or it certainly feels like it. They've got me convinced anyway. That's for sure. Aaron, this is why I switched to PC, as I'm too impatient, willing to spend over 1,000 just to hopefully get early access, and I'm certain Microsoft will be PC first for some time before Xbox. Yeah, I think you're right, definitely. I'm not one of them that's going to upgrade before the sim is on my hard drive. I don't see the point, personally. I think until that sim is on my hard drive and I can test it out, see what it's like with my hardware, then I'll know what I need to upgrade, or if I need to get a brand new computer. But I'm with you on that one, Aaron. I don't care if I had to spend 2,000 or 3,000 quid on a brand new PC, I will do that if it means running that new flight sim the way it's meant to be, meant to be experienced. Because it's just game changing, sim changing. The 3080 Ti card, I've got that on my radar, so as soon as that is out, I will be, well, I say I will, hopefully I'll be buying one. We don't know much about it at the moment, but I've got a feeling it's going to be quite a difference in performance. We need more VRAM, we needed GPUs with far more VRAM. 11GB just does not cut it anymore. It does for mainstream gaming. Oh, we've got a stutter there, sorry about that guys. I know what's going on, we're loading some new tiles in. Now, this is a good example. You don't get that I just had just there with Vulkan, because it just loads it really smooth. So those little stutters we're getting now, we're loading in a load of ortho tiles at full resolution. It's funny, as I mentioned VRAM, that happens, but once it settles down, it's okay again. I guess I'm so used to that now that it's kind of okay, but Vulkan does eliminate that, which is good, and it should do. Look at these mountains and just the tarns and the different colours. Really, really pretty. I miss Scotland so much. I haven't been for a couple of years, but being back in VR, I'm almost there again. Almost. Beautiful Cairngorms, my goodness me. Right, we're going to keep doing a bit of an arc to the left side here. Keeping it 4,000 feet. Good stuff. Najik, I think they want to be as inclusive as possible, which is great, as it will bring more people to flight simming, which means better software and hardware products being produced. Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I don't know what you guys were like when you first started using flight sim. I know for me, I was messing about and crashing into the sea and just being an idiot, basically, because that's kind of how you start, isn't it? You are a bit immature when you first start using flight sim, because that's how you progress on to then wanting to learn properly how to do it. As I say, my very first flight sim, I was probably, I don't know how old, or very, very young. It was on Atari, and it was a program, it was on floppy disk drive, and it was called F117A Stealth. That was literally blocks and just lines, and that was it. And I spent many hours playing that on my little Atari computer. And then I think after that it was FS5. And God, when we got to FS98, it was just so good, wasn't it? Because it was a 3D accelerator engine. I think I had like an NVIDIA Reverb TNT, which is one of the very first NVIDIA graphics cards that had a 3D support, and that was exciting. But there's been certain points in the flight sim progression of flight sim. There's been certain points that have been really defined, and really like, yeah, you remember that was a turning point. We are at one now, in fact probably the biggest one we've ever been on with this new flight sim. And if it draws more people in, then as you say, it's all good. Musa, hey Musa, what is the plugin you are referring to that is giving you the video view? Wow, I'm trying this out for the first time and it's brilliant. I love it. I should have had this the other day. Bless her, Melissa, my fiance, she was reading out all of the comments, and she actually really enjoyed doing it. It was quite good fun doing it, to be fair, but she did very well, because I couldn't get a window to work. But now I've got this plugin which is called Move VR. So it's there, Move VR. It's on the org site. Literally, I just googled it, put Move VR X-Plane 11, and it's there. Free, superb little plugin. Really recommend it. Tezzy, good day mate. I'm watching this while doing the dishes. Good man, you are house trained, my friend. I'm very impressed, and hopefully Melissa isn't watching this, because otherwise she'll be getting ideas. Right, well, we're going to keep heading to the Loch Ness. We'll just zoom in a bit here if we can. Taking a while to load, but we're going to be heading into this bit here, and then kind of following that path all the way down to Oban. So yeah, we'll kind of fly along here, and then we'll turn inland and then head really low across the Loch Ness to see the Loch Ness Monster. Hopefully we'll get a sighting today, guys. Let's do a flyby view, because my tests in Vulkan, I've noticed that you really see the smoothness when you do a flyby. I bet you it'll stutter if I do this in OpenGL mode. Or maybe not. Mind you, we are in Scotland, I suppose, which is a bit better on frames, although we have got all of this wonderful ortho. Just look at it. It's quite weird when you just sat here suspended at about 2,000 feet or whatever, and you're like, this feels really weird. I feel like I'm going to drop out of the sky any moment. And when I first did this in VR, it freaked me out, I'll tell you that. Oh, the joys of VR. It is fabulous. Love it. I'm intending on using DCS after this flight. Checking out the F-86 Sabre. I'm going to do a video on it, actually. I am going to be buying that aircraft when it's on sale. Of all the ones I've tried, my two favourites so far, the F-18 Hornet and the F-86 Sabre. What a beautiful classic jet that is. And it's so simple to start as well. It's very different from the Hornet in that it's all about the seat of your pants flying. There's no fly-by-wire throttle or anything like that. It's and the way it flies, the way it flutters in the air, if you give it a bit of give it a bit of a G in the turns. Oh, it's, yeah, really, really good. Tezzy, PC12 is better than the TBM900. Changed my mind. Well, I mean, in terms of the X-Plane versions, you know, the TBM is the absolute all-time best aircraft ever made for any sim, you know, for me personally. We all got our favourites, but the way this is modelled is obsessively accurate. It is insanely accurate, down to every moving part. There's so many systems, so many things that are involved with this aircraft. It is absolutely worth its price 3 or 4 times over. It really is. And it's the only real true VR plane that is of this level of complexity that works. It's got lib-brain effects. All this fancy lib-brain stuff, it's all because of the developer who used it, you know, implemented them and created them for this aircraft themselves. So yeah, brilliant. Oh no, I'm in trouble now. Thanks for that. I will ensure Steve watches YouTube in the kitchen too. Oh dear. That's it. I've been had now. No turning back for me. Maybe I'll just keep flying and head across the channel. Escape. Right, so we're going to go hands-on in a moment, because we are in search of the Loch Ness Monster en route to Oban. So I tell you what, we'll do that now. Autopilot coming off. We'll keep the yaw damper on. I'm not really centered here, sorry guys, too busy moving around, that's it. The aircraft now feels really heavy on the controls. I'll put the yoke on because we're going pretty quick. Just those little things that are modelled so well. Getting a few little stutters here. Hopefully they'll settle down a bit. Not too bad. Wow, very nice indeed. I just love looking out the window at all that beautiful scenery. Never gets old. But yeah, the aircraft is feeling very heavy. Look, if I'm hardly moving. Well, I say I am moving my yoke, but it's very kind of difficult to turn because we're moving through the air quite quickly. I might just put a bit of icing protection on actually, just in case, because it is quite a cold day today. And the inertial separator can come on again because we're going to get quite low for this particular part of the route. So I really, if any of you guys are struggling with Vulkan and getting really frustrated with it like I am, I'd recommend just rolling back to 11.4.1 and just enjoying all of your add-ons, you know, in the public release, because I think 11.4.1 is pretty sorted overall and works really well, and the performance isn't too bad. But if you are one of those that are really enjoying Vulkan and finding it really smooth and not having any issues with crashes and stuff, then I'm very pleased to hear that, because I'm hoping that as these betas roll out, things will get sorted out and eventually we'll all be in a sim that is very smooth indeed. But for me personally, apart from the less stutters, the smoothness of the sim, which is definitely better, everything else is worse in terms of the ortho, the crashes, excuse me. Just, yeah, it's really for testing purposes, and that's the whole point of having a beta. TBM is the PC, the Pilatus is, I'm sure that's what you're talking about, is a workhorse. Yeah, I'm sure it is. TBM is a luxury plane. Yeah, I totally agree. I only prefer the TBM just because of this version of it, to be honest. There is a Cairngorms PC12 version, which it's alright. It's not amazing though, to be fair. Better order those marigolds, mate. How's the quarantine going? Good question. For me, I've been really enjoying a bit of time off because I'm working. I actually work. I kind of class as one of those essential key worker type people. So I'm enjoying 2 weeks Easter break. So I'm just finding things okay really. As I say, I've been doing quite a lot of VR. As I'm sure you've seen, I've been posting a video like nearly every day. You'll be getting absolutely fed up of me. But I've been doing loads of DCS, really enjoying the F-18 Hornet. But yeah, we're quite lucky really. Where I live, we've got loads of fields pretty much next to us. So every day we take the dogs out for a nice long walk. And I've been getting the drone up as well a little bit. Making sure that when we're near anyone, which we're quite lucky, as I say, those fields there's so many of them that you hardly see anyone around, which is nice. So we were doing that. Had a barbecue the other day. I've got one of those burners, so sometimes sit in the garden, chill out, and we're quite lucky. We've got a nice garden as well, so things, they're not as bad as they could be. For being asked to stay at home is not, I know it's difficult for a lot of people. I appreciate that, and everyone's circumstances are different. But as I always say, try and indulge in the things that you love doing. It really helps. It really does help. Right, we're on the we're nearly at Loch Ness now, so we're going to be going down even further. I think frames have gone a bit low all of a sudden, so hopefully they'll come back up again in a minute. Lee, love your vids. Thank you very much. Is the Reverb the best VR headgear? Yes. Absolutely. This aircraft's feeling a bit weird. It's because I'm going too fast. I'll just concentrate a minute here. And I need to adjust the trim. The yaw trim as well. Rudder trim, sorry. Same thing. Right, so we're going to follow this up here and see if we can spot the Loch Ness Monster. If you're feeling brave enough. But yeah, absolutely, the Reverb is the best headset of them all. But then again, I haven't tried all the headsets. I wish I could. But I just think if you think of the price versus the performance versus the clarity versus the build quality, I think honestly it is definitely, it's a winner, and I'm so pleased HP made this headset, and I think it's been a huge success for them, to be honest, even with all the teething problems. Norman, greetings from the Bermuda Islands. Wow, that's fantastic. That sounds incredible. It's great when I hear from people from all over the world. I just think that's so cool, isn't it? How we're all here together, just enjoying a bit of flight simming. Absolutely brilliant. So you're more than welcome aboard. Thank you for coming along. Did X-Plane also add something to the AI traffic and ATC in the Beta 50? Don't think so, George. I think the only thing that's different about it is the actual API itself. I think some people have said that the textures of the water look a bit better. Where am I going? We're going the wrong way at the moment. We need to be going over there. But yeah, I'm not sure. Getting told off now. This aircraft's feeling very heavy, even though we're down to 180 knots. Hopefully we're not picking up any ice. We shouldn't be. There's no cloud around. Look at that for a view. Very nice. Detail everywhere. Running really nicely. What a joy it is to be able to do this in your own home. We're very lucky that even though lockdown is a very difficult thing to have to deal with, we have all sorts of gadgets and, you know, like VR is just a great way of escaping the realities that we face. And just, you know, right now I'm in my own personal TBM flying over Scotland. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, and it's completely convincing. Thanks to the modern world in which we live. Superb. How is that you're travelling during this international health crisis? Yes, I've had special clearance from Boris Johnson to go for a flight to Oban. You should have joined us when we first started. There was loads of EasyJet flights and Ryanair 737s, Airbuses taking off from Edinburgh, so you need to ask them as well where they're going. There's even a couple of Flybe-8s as well, so what's your take on soon to be released HP Reverb G2? Are you likely to upgrade on spec details? Well, I'll tell you what, the likelihood of me buying one is fairly optimistic. I want to know some more information like everybody else first. I really want to know, has the lenses changed, have the optics changed? We can definitely deduct that the speakers are going to be far better, the headphones, but the headphones on this are actually really good anyway. But we're going to get the index style headphones, and I've heard nothing but praise about that audio. What else? The knuckle controllers. Well, I don't know about them. They're obviously going to be better than the Windows Mixed Reality controllers, definitely. But they do attach to your hands. I don't know. That might be a problem for me because I like to have my control on my lap because I use a yoke. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Sync rate. Terrain ahead.
So
Terrain ahead.
as soon as
Sync rate.
there's some more information about this, I'll let you know. Right, anyway, we're going to go fairly low here.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Bitchin' Betty is not happy with his. Wrong button. And see if we can find the Loch Ness Monster. So get your cameras at the ready, because this could be a monumental moment in history. You might be able to make those millions by the photograph And oh my god, I can actually see it. There it is. Hot off the press, guys. This is incredible. We have found the Loch Ness Monster. Look at that. Crikey, that is quite scary in VR. Oh my god. There it is, folks. You've heard it here first.
Terrain ahead.
The Loch Ness Monster is alive.
Pull up. Pull up.
Clearly he's not in lockdown.
Terrain ahead.
Oh, shut
Terrain
up.
ahead.
There's a way of switching this off, but I've no idea how you do it. I can't remember.
Terrain.
I cannot remember how to do it, but never mind. We're going to be gaining some altitude again now. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. That is the Loch Ness Monster. We're going to be heading down Loch Ness now and up to sort of Glencoe area, Ben Nevis, and then onwards to Ben Nevis, I've just said that, onwards to Oban. That's going to be our stopping point, and the weather in Oban is a bit dodgy. There's some rain around. I've actually put that in manually because I want to see these rain effects, because I missed them because they're not in Vulkan mode. So yeah, and that will be our flight today. So we've probably got a good half an hour left at least. I forget how expansive Scotland is. It's huge. I think we'll hand fly from this point onwards. World of Simulations, hello from Black Forest, Germany. Oh my god, that is a gorgeous area. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. You're more than welcome. The Black Forest. I was lucky enough to ride through your beautiful country a couple of years ago, and we went through the Black Forest and to a place called Baden-Baden. What a name! And all of the number plates were like Baden-Baden 1 or whatever, or what it was. Just what a cool name for a place. In fact, yeah, I'm going to post a video of that trip soon, actually, because it's already on YouTube. I just need to make it public. But that was a massive highlight of our European trip, was going through the Black Forest. The roads are just insane, so twisty. So yeah, you're more than welcome aboard, my friend. Aaron, on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Insider program, it does say, and I quote, late April, save the date, announcement. Oh, really? Really? Well, thanks for that bit of information there, Aaron. I'll have to check that out. Maybe there's going to be an actual... Oh, wow, maybe not a release date yet, really. Not with everything that's going on, surely. Who knows? Exciting. Baden-Baden, yeah. Oh, what a place. So let's go outside and enjoy some of these views. I'm just trying to trim the rudder a bit here. You've really got to keep on top of this aircraft. It is ridiculously realistic, insanely modelled, and we should really be checking out for traffic as well, but I'm not expecting any traffic at Oban because that won't be modelled in Traffic Global at the moment, because I think it's mainly more commercial traffic. But let's check outside. I'm going to put a bit of airframe de-ice on because it is a bit cold out there. Hold on a second, guys, sorry. There we go. Massive wind farm there, look at that. Wow. Sat down there. Ah. Oh, is the Loch Ness monster following us? I think that was just a random building in the middle of the lake. Oh, few stutters again. So we've had about 3 episodes of stuttering in about how much? 1 hour 5 minutes of flying, and that's that's live streaming as well. So that's not too bad, really, to be fair. Although that's a bad stutter. Crikey, sorry guys. Okay, so Ben Nevis should be our next point of reference, which should be coming up. And I don't think Orbex have sorted out Ben Nevis even now. The mesh is all is completely messed up, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. We'll try and just pretend that that doesn't exist. Just move this and I can see it better and keep flying. Spending so much on a new PC, I see. Slides, 100 quid under the desk. I'll talk the old one. Take the old one. Yeah, get it. Absolutely. Well, I mean, my computer now, it's about 2.5 years old, and it's an 8600K i5 processor with a 1080 Ti card. I actually bought it with a 1070 card, and when I changed to a 1080 card for X-Plane, I saw no difference at all. No difference in performance. And that includes really Vulkan at the moment for me. I'm just not getting the performance increase. Everyone's going on about how great it is. I'm not seeing it. Apart from the smoothness, the big thing for me, as I've said all along, is large Orbex airports are a nightmare. They stutter like crazy. You know, large areas of ortho, you don't get those stutters anymore. That's the only thing that I can see different, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm paying for all the, you know, for all my add-ons not working and the ortho itself being really, really blurry, as well as the reverb not working as well. So quite honestly, right now for me, it's not really working out. But hopefully that will change. I think it will. Laminar are on it. They are on it, and they're working hard at getting this. Look at all those trees, and they're perfectly placed. And the trees look exactly like that in Scotland as well. You can almost smell that fresh air, and you can see there, that is Ben Nevis coming into view with snow on the top there, the summit. Oh, wow. Well, I have to say, these controls are still working perfectly. Haptic feedback is still working, so it's just basically I get a message after about 20 minutes of use that the batteries are running low, but yet it still continues to work. So I don't know what's going on there. Very strange. Let's have a quick look outside again. God, I love this aircraft. Oh, perfect timing. We have some rain, guys. Look at that. I love those effects so much. Oh, God, in VR, they look so good. Can't be without my lib rain effects, guys. It just gives such a feeling of immersion. Look at that. Oh God, yes. So this rain is going to be quite, well, it's moderate, I've set it to. This is pretty much what you expect from Scotland, a bit of rain. Very nice indeed. Screenshot there, it's got to be done. And that is Ben Nevis, highest mountain. Oh, weather's closing in now, isn't it? Crikey. The highest mountain in the UK. I'm definitely putting some icing stuff on now. But it's already on, so that's good. Tazzy, hey mate, what Intel card are you running? Intel card? Do you mean CPU or GPU? My CPU is at i5 8600K. I'm running it at stock speed. I could get a lot more performance out of it if I boosted up to 5 GHz, which I have done, but I need a decent CPU cooler, which I've been meaning to get now for about 6 months, so no excuses there. A few stutters there. But my GPU is a NVIDIA 1080 Ti card, which quite honestly in non-Vulkan mode is not really doing much. Wow, just getting a few stutters again. Inertial separator on, sorry guys, stutter, stutter, stutter. This area is quite heavy actually. We're getting very, very, very slow stutters and frame rate at the moment, so I'm just going to try and see if we can get through it. Hopefully we won't crash or anything like that. Oh, stutter. I've always found this area to be pretty bad on frame rate. But I'm just leaving you with a view of Ben Nevis while the stutters calm down a bit. Hopefully. There we go. That was our worst stutters so far. And there's that awful mesh problem that Orbex needs to sort out. Right, we need to make our way to Oban now, which you can see there. The weather's closing in. Why did I choose this weather? Feels very apt for Scotland though, doesn't it, don't you think? Beautiful views everywhere you turn. Look at this. So that down there, that's Fort William, and there's an amazing train ride that goes all the way to Malag, a very famous viaduct, Harry Potter viaduct. That's all modelled by Orbex as well. And we're going to the cloud. We don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be going into the cloud. I think we might have to scud run at this rate. But keeping over the water will ensure that we won't collide with any mountains. We could put our synthetic vision on if things get a bit too bad, but I think we'll be okay, hopefully. Okay, hang on a second. CPU, because I need to start making a computer. Well, yeah, the A600K is a fantastically, really overclockable chip. You can really thrash it if you want to. Better than the 700K, or you might be better off even getting a 9-something-K Coffee Lake. But my motherboard is a 390X or 370X. Basically the Coffee Lake chipset, and I have been very pleased with it. Very, very good. I had the same CPU and got it stable at 4.8. It would run at 5 but X-Plane with randomly blue screen. That's good to know, thanks that Expat Aviator. That's what happened to me. So is your cooling okay? Because maybe that was the problem there more so than I don't know, but I do need to make sure the cooling's better. Diamond Geezer, you need it for DCS though. Yes, absolutely, totally agree. That is CPU bound. But I'm finding DCS is really smooth. I'm getting 45 frames per second with that particular sim. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time. Sometimes it'll go down to about 30 frames, but I find 30 frames is not too bad in the Reverb. Anything below than that is awful, quite honestly. Need as in practice for flying in real life in a couple of years on sims. Yes, I remember your comment now, mate. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy that you're going to go for it and do your real world flying, get your PPL. Absolutely do it. Just looking out here, that is Glencoe and somewhere else I can't remember the name of. Oh no, that's Lake District. Glencoe, yes, I'm sure it is Glencoe. No, it isn't Glencoe. I'm a rubbish tour guide, I'm sorry guys. Usually I know Scotland really well, but I'm just being stupid today for some reason. It must be all this quarantine and not getting out much. So look here, Norman, I'm on the fence between the HP Reverb G1, G2 and the Pimax 8KX, both product series reported to have an awesome resolution. So I'm looking where I'm going. I'm curious about the higher FOV of the Pimax, so worth the extra price. Big question that, Norman. I won't be getting an 8KX based upon Pimax's reputation, shall we say. They're not great. People have yet to get their 8KXs. And now all this coronavirus stuff is probably going to make it even worse for them. But their build quality, they're known for the cases in the past cracking. The 8KX, I love the. Well, let me get this straight. Pimax, I think it's great what they're doing. They are pushing the boundaries of VR, and that's really important. I think it's great what they're doing. But I do think that they're going a bit too far ahead of what hardware can handle at the moment. They should be focusing less on that crazy resolution and maybe that field of view, just bring it down a little bit and then create one headset, put all their work into it, and then make sure that they look after their customers, which they're not at the moment. A lot of people are very unhappy with Pimax, and I would hate for you to get burnt, quite honestly. If you haven't got a Reverb at the moment and you're desperate to get that high resolution, oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I don't know how long is it going to be before the G2 is even released? You know, under the current climate, it's a difficult decision to make. I personally would wait if you can, because I'd hate for you to buy a Reverb and then even say 5-6 months down the road the G2 happens to be a hugely, you know, upgraded product from the original one. So maybe wait if you can. If not, buy the Reverb. It's still a fantastic headset. It's the best one out at the moment, for me personally. But of course, you know, you're welcome to disagree with me. Aaron, I'll be getting an i5-9400 processor, set 2070 super graphics card and 16 gigs of RAM. Will that be enough? Very nice, that sounds good to me, mate. Maybe make the DDR 32 gigs though, I would recommend personally. And if you can get a K series chip, that would be better because they overclock better. That's what I'd recommend. But the GPU should be nice. Is that 11 gig, by the way? You know, you need to make sure you've got 11 gig GPU. Cooling is great. Expat Aviator, it wasn't temps. 4.8 was just the max stable check I could get with the chip. Silicon lottery, yeah, absolutely, yeah, totally agree. Yeah, fair enough. Right. Addons around here somewhere in this murk. I've no idea where though.
Landing gear.
Ignore that. I'm just putting my trying to get my bearings. I think Addons over there. Yes, it is.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Right, we're going to go in for a straightened approach, guys. So hold on to your hats. This is going to be challenging because of all this weather. I'm an idiot and I've set this weather a bit too harsh. But never mind, it'll hopefully bring a nice end to proceedings in a good way. I want to get all you guys safely down. Oh, trimming this out here. A bit of a balloon there. Flaps. It's all going to happen quickly, guys, so I'll check the chat in a second. Look at those lib rain effects. Isn't that just amazing? In VR it looks so good. Now somewhere out there is our runway. There it is, actually. We're going to do a bit of an offset approach. Marginal VFR at the moment, but I think as we're getting lower, these clouds, getting a good view. That is gorgeous. Look at that for a view. And we've got quite a wind here. We've got a 14 knot side wind and it's pushing us to this mountain. I can feel it. I can actually feel that in VR. I can feel myself drifting. You know, that is amazing, and you don't really feel that on a 2D screen. Say your prayers now, guys. We are coming into land. And this is quite a spectacular approach into Oban. It's even more difficult because we've got a crosswind and we're the wrong side of this mountain. So we'll just see how we get on here. Holy crap. And we're too high as well. Have faith, guys. I'll get us down safely, I promise. But I'd put your seatbelts on now if I were you.
Pull up. Pull up.
I'm going to get to the other side of this mountain because I need to crab in from this angle. Checking torque, pressures, everything. This is when the reverb comes into its own because you can see all of the gauges really well, helping me monitor everything. Trying to keep about 93 knots, 94 knots. Arriving. Oh, that wind's actually stronger than it feels. There we go. Boot full of left rudder there. And we are down. God, that was a challenging approach. What a way to end. What a thoroughly enjoyable flight that was. And that was in 11.41. Pre-Vulkan. And I've got to say, it's running really well. And I'll be keeping this main install safe and sound until the very day that 1150 becomes a stable platform, and I recommend everyone else do the same thing as I run over a runway light, but we'll gloss over that. Right, we'll clean this aircraft up. P-tates can come off. We've got lots of dinging going on now. Icing can come off. Leave them on actually for a minute. Taxi light, strobe. And I hope you enjoyed that little tour of Scotland. The weather was a bit dodgy, but then hey, that's kind of realistic. Can't get enough of this. Love it so much. Really puts you in a good mood, you know. It really does. And it's even better that all you guys are following along with me. I really do appreciate it, from all different corners of the world as well. It's just, how great is that we can kind of come together and enjoy this passion. There we go. Parking brake set. Bleed air can come off. Air conditioning. Low idle. Take our headphones off. Lights can come off. And there we go. Ding ding. We are, well, yeah, welcome to Oban, guys. I'll just check the chat to end. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just wow. Oh, I can, oh wow, I can actually use my controller to scroll up the chat. How cool is that? That's brilliant. Make this a bit bigger for a moment so I can really read everything. Where am I? I've lost where I am now. Calling is great. Diamond Geezer. 86k I've had to 5.1 with, wow, that's really cool. Stable, but we've pulled it back to 4.8 out of Thea. I'm not surprised. But that's really impressive though. That's a better, I think that's the, must be the model up. Well, actually no, is that? I don't know what processor that is. Obviously it's an Intel i5 of some description. Mark's Landing and Aviation Viz. Is the Oculus Quest worth it because I'm new to VR, so thinking of buying it? If you're using VR sorry, obviously using VR. If you're using flight simulation, no. Don't buy a Quest, buy a Rift S. Like Diamond Geezer has just said. Expat Aviator, I hope so, Mark. My Quest is an order. Oh, I have an original Vive which isn't good enough. Right, okay. I mean, you know, go for it, but I wouldn't recommend a Quest if you're going to be, unless you're going to be using it for Quest-related games, in which case definitely get one. They're an amazing headset, especially, you know, it's one of very few that are wireless. So, but as I say, I wouldn't recommend it for flight simming. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry, Mark. We'll all start somewhere, you know, and I've recently felt I've been using DCS recently, and I feel like a right noob in that. I'm totally new to it, and it's all good fun. No question is too silly to answer, to ask and to answer. Diamond Geezer, I am in real world terms, get the best you can afford. Yeah, absolutely. Expert Aviator, I ordered a USB-C cable. I have an idea of having it without the cable for other games. Yeah, great then. That might be fine for you. Totally, yeah, if you're going to use it, Quest for other things as well. Like I used the Rift S. I was in Stormland last night enjoying some action. But is the Rift S or Quest worth it? Like, what is the best of those two? Well, the Quest is the better value for a general VR gamer, but we're flight sim guys. We are we are a niche group of geeks that you'd be better off with the Rift S. Totally. World of Simulations looks beautiful. Great, absolutely. Thank you. Both seems pretty similar when I did my research. Wow, thanks guys for all these comments. It's amazing. Are you possibly flying with real world data? No, well, actually Norman, both. I'm using real world weather, but for this particular bit of the journey I set a manual bit of weather in active sky, because I wanted to check out these lib rain effects again, because I've missed them so much, and I'm a bit of a fanboy of lib rain effects in VR, to be honest. What's your opinion, guys? God, there's so many comments. Good morning from Oregon. Sorry I'm late, just woke up. Hey Don, no problem mate. Morning, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, so that's it guys. Thank you so much for coming along. It has been an absolute pleasure having you aboard the TBM900 in X-Plane 1141 in the HP Reverb, which I've got to say has been absolutely fantastic. I love this headset so much. I'm going to be flying pretty much most of the day today with the Reverb. I've done a 6-hour session in this once actually, and that's on the channel if you're interested, and I have had no problems with it at all. But yeah, from me for now, I think I best say goodbye and grab a nice coffee, take the dogs out for a walk, and yeah, have a great day wherever you are. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now guys, take care.